Well, here's my setup for the Battle of Ortona, December the 23rd, 1943. Now, I have to emphasise, because it's really important, this is a Canadian versus German battle. When I come to actually fight the game, I'm going to be using American troops because I don't have British or Canadian troops. But this is one of the bloodiest, grueling, most brutal battles in the Canadians' experiences in World War II, and they had a lot. And I do not want to underplay the importance of what the Canadians did for the war effort. So, in a way, I apologise for not having Canadian troops. And this video, if it's done nothing else, it's persuaded me that I need some Canadian and British troops if I'm going to expand the theatre and not just do the Ardennes. So, that being said, hiya, it's me, Galen. Galen's got Parkinson's. The actual battle is quite a large battle. It's more than a skirmish. There's probably about 2,500 maximum Canadians. And it's probably about 1,200 Fallschirmjäger. But the Fallschirmjäger are elite and they're in defended positions. The Canadians have to fight through this mess street by street. So the Canadians are going to start off right in front of the camera, and they're going to have to find and eliminate the German headquarters, which is going to be elsewhere. Now, to make the game more playable at skirmish level, I've chopped off 2 big chunks. So on the left-hand side, in Ortona, there is actually a castle, a real, proper Italian castle, which is defended. So that's a big game all of its own. And there's a church. I've put the graveyard on. You can't see it because of the roof line of the house right in the foreground. Perhaps you can. I'll put an arrow on it. You can see some gravestones. That's the graveyard of the outside of the church. The other reason for not putting them on is that A, the castle is enormous, and the church is very, very Italian, Mediterranean, whereas my only church is more suitable for English Civil War back to Saxon times, and it looks silly. I tried it, but it looked silly. Also, on the right-hand side is the sea. This is on the coast, Ortona, and so I didn't want to take up too much of my 3-foot wide board with coastline. So I'm assuming that I'm commanding just troops in one part of the battlefield. So to the left, there are troops attacking the castle and the church. To the right, there are troops attacking down the coast. And similarly, the Germans have troops in both of those areas. The Germans are principally, as I say, Fallschirmjäger, and possibly a support weapon. I don't know whether to have the support weapon on or dice for it. I'll decide that before I play the game. Similarly, Canadians have access to limited armour. There isn't an armoured unit with the Canadians. So I was thinking possibly one piece of armour, but it's going to be restricted to the main road because of all the rubble. If you look at images, pictures of the battlefield after the battle or during the battle, it is just rubble and ruins. It is difficult. This is also the game which employed the mouse hole technique, where the Canadians used tunnels to travel between buildings. And I'm going to replicate that by throwing a d6, and that will tell me the number of tunnels, and then I'll throw a d6 for each of those tunnels, and that'll tell me how long they are in inches. And I think, as a festive twist, I'm going to cut them out of Christmas wrapping paper. And I'm also going to have the tokens on each terrain area. Well, they'll all be jumbled up, but some of them will have a symbol on the hidden rear. And when the Canadians take those symbols, they will be ingredients towards the impromptu Christmas dinner that the Canadians held during the battle. Because I'd like to try and recreate the Canadians doing that. The red brick area, which is quite an open area, is the town plaza. And there was a lot of fighting took place there. So that's pretty much the look of the battlefield. Next thing, I'm going to put the troops on, and then we'll have a fight over the battlefield and see if our recreation of this section of Ortona is anything like what really happened. So, we hope you enjoy the first of our Merry Christmas. Here's our gift to you, Wargames. Ta-ra, Chuck!